Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anggi Sahrani, and in this video today I will present my material about the understanding of bilingualism according to the expert. So, in general, bilingualism is the ability of an individual or the members of a community to use two languages effectively. But in this video, I only took two experts that understanding of bilingualism because I feel the essence of what they describe is the same. Well, according to Haugen, 1968, bilingualism is knowledge of two languages. So, Haugen means that bilingualism is the alternating use of two languages with productively and receptive by an individual or community and enough to know two languages passively or understanding without speaking. And according to Leonard Bromfield, bilingualism is the ability to speak two languages equally well by a speaker. So, Blomfield formulate that familiar mastery over two languages or native like control of two languages. Two language mastery with the same fluency and precision as native speaker very difficult to measure. So, maybe just it that I can explain. Sorry of something wrong. Thank you very much, and it will be continued by my friends. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arif Amran, and I will bring material about language in bilingualism. Bloomfield said mastering two languages in bilingual means mastering two coded systems. Language as a model system refers to parole, including dialect and variasi. McKay gives that intention that language in linguisticism is the same as language, because bilingual is practiced by using language interchangeably from one language to another by the speaker. So the language in question is language. Language is an abstract system regarding to the concept of a language, whereas language is a concrete from a manifestation of language. Therefore, the form of parole of language is more than its language. Suwito, from another point of view, provides an opportunity for bilingual people, namely people who use two or more languages as communication tool, as bilingual individuals who use two or more languages as a communication tool. Meanwhile, according to Greed, bilingualism consists of individual bilingualism, namely every individual who uses two languages, and group bilingualism is every individual in the group that use two languages. I think enough from me. Thank you very much for watching. Next will be continued by my friend. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So our material today is bilingualism and diglosia. After you know what is bilingualism and language in bilingualism, so let's talk about the types of bilingualism. Well, there are four types. Those are early bilingualism, late bilingualism, additive and subtractive bilingualism, and the last is passive bilingualism. The first one, early bilingualism, also divided into two types. Those are simultaneous early bilingualism and successive early bilingualism. Simultaneous early bilingualism refers to a child who learns two different languages at the same time from birth. This generally produces a strong bilingualism called additive or compound bilingualism. This also implies that the child's language development is bilingual. Successive early bilingualism refers to a child who has already partially acquired a first language, then learns second language early in childhood. For example, when a child moves to an environment where the dominant language isn't his native language. This generally produces a strong bilingualism or adaptive bilingualism. But the child must be given the time to learn a second language because the second language is learned at the same time as the child learns to speak. This also implies that the language development of the child is partly bilingual. 2. Late bilingualism. Late bilingualism refers to bilingualism when the second language is learned after the age of 6 or 7. Especially it's learned in adolescence or adulthood. Late bilingualism is consecutive bilingualism, which occurs after the acquisition of first language or after the childhood language development period. This is what also distinguishes it from early bilingualism. With the first language already acquired, then the bilingual uses their experience to learn the second language. 3. Adaptive bilingualism and subtractive bilingualism. Adaptive bilingualism, also known as compound bilingualism, is the result of learning two languages in the same situation by the same person. For example, a child learns languages from his parents. His father teaches language A and his mother teaches language B in balanced way. This situation gives a greater chance of language interference. Subtractive bilingualism, also known as coordinate bilingualism, is the result of learning two languages in a different situation or separate environment and maintains this separation after mastering both. For example, a child uses language A in school and at the home use language B. And the last is passive bilingualism. Passive bilingualism refers to being able to understand the second language without being able to speak it. According to Paul in Beaton's Birmore 1985, language typology based more on the status of language that exists within the society. Then Paul divided bilingualism into three types. First, horizontal bilingualism is a situation of using two different languages, but each language has equal status on formal situation, culture, and family life of the wearer. Second, vertical bilingualism is the use of language when the standard language and dialects, related or separate, is owned by a speaker. The third or the last is diagonal bilingualism, is the use of two languages or non-standard dialect together, but they have no genetic relationship with the standard language used by the community. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Janulfa. I am the fourth speaker and I'm going to discuss about how to measure bilingualism. So according to W.E. Lambert, there are four ways to measure someone's bilingualism. So the first is when someone reacts to language. If the reaction speed of the two language is same, then this person is considered to be a bilingual. For example, like when they are asked some question but in different language and they can answer it very well, then this person is measured by the ability in the terms of expression or the ability from they react. And then the second thing is the speed of the reaction can be also measured by how someone carries out the comments that are given in different language. So what is seen in here is the ability in the terms of reception or the ability to understand spoken language that is hear or read. And then the third point, how to measure someone's bilingualism, is the person's ability to complete a word. For example, like this person is given a word that are not perfect, and they have to complete that word. And then the last point, how to measure someone's bilingualism, is to measuring the tendency of spontaneous pronunciation, or we usually called dialect or accent, or in bahasa you can call logat. So in this case, the subject is given the same word written but different pronunciation in the two language. For example, like the word national. In Indonesia, how to pronounce is nasional, the way it is written, and that is the way how to pronounce it, nasional. It's like that. While in English, national is pronounced national, national, with a lot of vowel, and it is different with Indonesian. So measuring bilingualism can be used to determine the extent of mastery of the two languages that a person has. So thank you, that is the last point, how to measure bilingualism. So the next material will be bring by my friend, and thank you.
Okay, from the Diglosia resolution, Forgen gave that understanding of Diglosia is a language that is relatively stable, where other than that there is major dialects of one language. There are also other types, and the main dialects that can be formed standard dialects, regional standard, while other types. 1. It has been very confined. 2. That grammar is more complex. 3. Is a while for written literature that is very broad and respected. 4. Learned dog formal education. 5. Used mainly in written and formal spoken language. And last no used for conversation every day.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity that given to me. My name is Elefranti Bahmid, and I want to explain about diglosia by Ferguson with medium-high 9 topics. First, function is a criterion that is very important for a language. There are two variations of language, namely high language or dialecty, or low language or dialect art. Second, partition is related to the attitude of the speaker and the social digit or speech communication. Variety is superior, more manly, and more reasonable. For example, if we follow the Ferguson variety, it can be said that Indonesia is a T variety and the regional language is a variety of R. Third, an example of the legacy of Ferguson written tradition literature where the T variety is used and respected by language community. Fourth, occurring high T and variety or language. The R variety is used to talk with children and it is used among children, so that the R variety is studied normally and unconsciously. A variety of T has always been supplementary, usually through formal teaching in schools. Fifth, phrasing and standardization, because the T variety is seen as the prestigious variety. It is not surprising that standardization is carried out on the T variety through formal codification. Dictionary, grammatical, pronunciation, instruction, and textbooks for the correct use are written of variety T. And 6. The stability of dialogues society usually lasts for the long time, where there is a variation of language that maintains an existence in that society. The R variety is highlighted while the R variety is used, it is very forced. And seventh, Ferguson grammar hold that the T variety and R variety is diglosia are form of the same, but in language it turned out there are differences. For example, in standard German, there are four cases of nouns and two tenses. While German Swiss, there are only three nouns and one simple tenses. 8. Vocabulary or lexicon. Most of the vocabulary in the T variety of R variety as a vocabulary T and R variety are the same, but there is a vocabulary in the variety and there is no partner. In the R variety or vice versa. And the last, phonology in the field of phonology. There are structural differences between the T variety and the R variety. The difference can be near and far. It can be near or far. State the various T sound system and the single R variety phonology system, and basic system and R phonology are differs. Okay, I think that's enough from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. In this session, I want to explain about relationship between bilingualism and diglosia. According to Abdul Chair and Agustina, distinguish between diglosia and bilingualism as follows. Diglosia is defined as a distinction of function above language use, and bilingualism are circumstance the use of two languages alternately in society. As we can see that bilingualism and diglosia relate to the mastery of two or more languages in society. The following is that the relationship between the two. The first is bilingualism with diglosia. In this step, two phenomena of language use occur. It has the characteristic that members of the community know the situation that demands the use of language, both in relation to the language chosen according to its function and in relation to the language chosen according to the prestige of language and variance. The second is bilingualism without diglosia. Bilingualism without diglosia having the characteristic that every language has the opportunity to be used without the need for certain function. Language is chosen without being associated with social function because the social function of language in this type is not strong. And next is diglosia without bilingualism. This type has an assumption that between speakers of the elite and the community there has never been an interaction in the sense of using the chosen language. They interact through translator or interpreters. And the last one is diglosia and without bilingualism. This type relies on the possibility of a small society. Its members are very remote and egalitarian who only has one language and variety of language, and there is no difference in the role played by the style content in that language. I think that's enough what I can explain about relationship between diglosia and bilingualism. Thank you.